So welcome back to the channel and welcome to today's video where I am going to be reacting to why Aussie sport games always seem to suck, and this is a video by Infinite Ltd. Now I'm not even going to lie, but this guy makes great doco styled videos, so if you guys like Sunny V2, go ahead and check out this guy's channel as well. I'm going to leave his link to the video in the description down below like I always do when I react to videos here on the channel. The reason why I'm reacting to this video is because we just had Rugby League 26 that got released, and holy shit, it was a fucking mess. Yes, the game is much better now and in a way better state than it was when it released, but this title is so true, and it's something that I want to know. Why the fuck do Aussie sports games always suck balls?
There's a special kind of rage that only video games can create. That deep, soul-scorching frustration that hits when you drop full price on a brand new release, boot it up, and realize within minutes that it's broken beyond repair.
It's a piece of shit.
Everything on your end is working perfectly, yet the moment the
right.
game starts, something feels off. It's stuttering and glitching with occasional crashes.
Rugby League 26, see, you've seen it.
How something this broken made it to shelves. Then you remember, this isn't the first time. In fact, this is becoming a pattern.
Always.
What started as disappointment has turned into a running theme in Australian gaming, and by now, the culprit is all too familiar. Big Ant Studios. Now, if you've never heard of them, congratulations. You've avoided some serious pain. But if
Big
you've
Ant,
ever tried
bro.
to play a cricket sim,
more like
NFL
big
game,
stinkers,
or a rugby league title over the last decade, odds are you've crossed paths with Big Ant Studios. And if you're still waiting for them to finally get it right, I've got bad news.
Yeah, facts.
Rugby League 26,
They won't.
Big Ant Studios' latest release, is already being widely slammed as one of the worst sports games of the year.
It's better now though. It's honestly better now.
Players ran into a flood of issues. Crashes, invisible players, broken menus, laggy career modes, and physics that feel like they were thrown together at the last minute. It's glitchy, unstable, and barely holds itself together, wrapped in a polished exterior that hides a completely unfinished product.
Bro, what is
None
that?
Of this is new. It's
The
just
guy
the
never,
latest addition to a
picked up the
long,
ball.
frustrating history of rushed,
What the fuck?
undercooked games that have cemented Big Ant Studios' reputation for all the wrong reasons. Founded all the way back in 2001, Big Ant was supposed to be a win for Aussie sports fans.
That's
Finally,
unk status.
there would be a developer who's dedicated to the sports we actually care about. Cricket, rugby league, tennis, AFL, the niche stuff. And honestly, that idea had potential. These are passionate communities where people live them.
I remember
So when
playing like the
someone
cricket
promises
games
to
back in
bring
the
them
day.
to life on screen, expectations go through the roof. But Big Ant has never really delivered. At best, their games are
That's
janky but
facts.
playable.
That's facts.
At worst, their catastrophes held together by duct tape and day one patches. Let's take it back to 2014
So
when
funny.
Big Ant Studios dropped Don Bradman Cricket 14. There was genuine excitement at the time. After all, it was
I
one of
remember
the
this,
first
eh?
proper cricket sims in years. While it
Yeah,
had
I
its
think I do.
flaws, such as stiff animations, awkward controls, and some questionable ball physics, it showed enough potential to get fans on board.
Ball physics, huh?
People were hopeful. They were willing to overlook the rough edges in anticipation of future improvements, and over the next few years, Big Ant Studios followed up with Don Bradman Cricket 17, Ashes Cricket, and eventually Cricket 19, all aiming to build on that original foundation.
And I bet it's all the same
But
shit.
instead of real progress, players started noticing a pattern. Animations felt reused. Bugs from older titles mysteriously returned, and the career modes offered little evolution. Worst of all, the gameplay began to feel repetitive.
See?
Each new release was
the same
simply
shit.
treading water rather than moving forward. By the
They don't
time
give a
Cricket
fuck.
22 dropped, patience was wearing thin. The game launched with broken servers, missing features, and more polish issues than anyone was willing to excuse. The same long-standing issues were still there, like the uninspired commentary, the presentation that looked half done, and gameplay that hadn't had any significant improvements.
So it's a cash
It was as
grab.
if the developers had
Pretty much.
taken the last
Like all their
version,
games are.
made a few cosmetic changes,
That's what they
and
done with
rushed it
Rugby.
out the door
That's what
and
they
moved
done
on.
with Rugby League
Maybe
26.
cricket wasn't their thing. Maybe tennis would be the
Like-
breakthrough. Enter AO Tennis in 2018. On paper, it should have been a smash hit. It had official licenses, big name players, detailed stadiums, but the game was
So just before he gets to it, if he does, Rugby League 26 is technically Rugby League Live 4, if that makes sense. Like, it's technically the same game, but like, I don't even know, like, called something different, if that makes sense, with like updated rosters. That was pretty much what Rugby League 26 is a copy and paste of Rugby League Live 4. So yeah, like what he's saying about the whole cricket game is exactly what we got this year for Rugby League 26. So if he talks about it, I'm telling you guys now, let's go ahead and get straight back into it because, yeah, Infinite, bro, you're spot on.
It was a mess. It launched almost empty. The AI couldn't rally to save its life, and the physics
Why have I never heard of it?
Out of a bad tech demo. Big Ant Studios promised fixes, and to be fair, AO Tennis 2 was a step up. But even then, the improvements weren't enough to erase the studio's growing reputation for mediocrity. Jump to 2025, and Rugby League 26 might just be Big Ant Studios' most disastrous release yet. From launch day, frustration poured in as reports arose of constant crashes, broken game modes, corrupted saves, and player animations that looked completely unpolished. Even basic menu
Copy and
navigation
paste
was glitchy, with some players unable to make it past the tutorial without the game freezing.
Wow.
And this is where things get frustrating. Big Ant isn't some overnight indie dev figuring things out. They've been in the game for
they have experience.
They've released
Jetpack
more than a dozen
Joyride.
sports titles. They've had time to improve, time
That's
to
theirs?
listen, and time to evolve. But
Yeah,
every
right.
release feels
What
like
the
they're
fuck?
starting from scratch and not in a good way. The tech doesn't advance and the gameplay doesn't grow. It's the
That's true.
same recycled assets, the same sluggish mechanics.
That's true. Infinite, you're getting a like on your video. There you go.
Part of the problem lies in how
That's so
Big Ant
true.
approaches development. The studio consistently stretches itself too thin, taking on multiple sports titles at once instead of focusing on perfecting a single one. Each of these games demands its own mechanics, systems, and presentation, and none of them are simple to replicate. Building a solid sports sim takes time, resources, and deep attention to detail.
100%.
Big Ant Studios rarely has the bandwidth to deliver that across the board. The short development cycles only make things worse, forcing rushed launches and patchwork updates. Big Ant Studios holds a kind of monopoly, but rather than using that position to raise the bar, they've repeatedly failed to meet even the basic expectations of their fanbase. There's also a design issue. Their games often feel lifeless. Big Ant Studios titles feel like they're just ticking off checkboxes where
customization looks like shit. I don't know how old that is, but that looks fucking old
enough, leaving players frustrated. Even when they get something right, like Cricket 19's graphics or AO Tennis 2's improved AI, it's not enough to outweigh the rest of the package.
Now?
The sad part is Big Ant actually secures official partnerships and uses that branding to sell hope. Hope that maybe this time the game will live up to the badge, but it rarely does. What makes all of this so much worse is that the communities behind these sports are incredibly loyal. But time after time, Big Ant Studios only deliver the bare minimum and then expect applause for showing up. They could have turned things around when Nakin took over in 2021. With more funding and proper development time, things should have started improving. But that hasn't been the case. The same issues keep slipping through. Games still launch in rough shape. Player feedback
I don't know how like
familiar bugs continue
do people
to show
play test their shit anymore, like developers?
Feeling like
and that's not even for like Big Ant. That's just in general, like Call of Duty, for example. Do they ever just play test their shit?
Sports and still missing the
so annoying.
It's hard to root for you. And while there's technically still time for Rugby League 26 to get fixed, first impressions matter, and more than that, trust matters. Right now, Big Ant Studios doesn't have much of either.
No,
this leaves fans in a frustrating spot. When one studio controls the only licensed games for entire sports and still can't deliver something reliable, it becomes hard to stay supportive. The community doesn't want another apology. They want a finished game. They want a developer that takes pride in what it makes.
2K.
Remains to be seen.
Give it to EA.
One thing's for sure. If Big Ant Studios keeps going down this
path,
they won't just be known as Australia's worst video game developer.
Should be Rugby League
2K26. Any of these sports had at getting the games they deserve. But what do you think? Is Big Ant Studios beyond saving, or do they still have a shot if they finally listen to the community?
They're not going to
listen.
Let
us know your thoughts in the comments section below.
Buddy explained 2001 to 2025.
Give it a like. Hit subscribe.
What, 24 years?
So you don't miss future
videos
like this.
But yeah, dead set, everything Infinite just said was pretty much a fucking spot on. Like, Big Ant, I mean, oh, fuck me. They're the problem. Like, they are the problem. And I do know, and this is apparently a rumor, I don't know if it's true, but I do know that, for example, the NRL, well, not really for example, the NRL tried to get EA Sports to make the new Rugby League game. However, it was just too much money. So unfortunately, we got the Wish version of what EA Sports could have made for us. Rugby League 26, I mean, was a mess when it released. It's a lot better now, and I will say that I didn't give a fuck. It's a lot better now than what it was. Like, I'll happily spend my Saturday, Friday, Sunday nights or whatever playing Rugby League 26. Like, honestly, 100%. But yeah, Big Ant Studios, I don't know, man. They don't give a fuck until the community start fucking screaming and carrying on and everything like that. And everything the community, like myself, like I actually complained about Rugby League 26. And yeah, so I'm a part of that little uproar. But yeah, I'm happy that it's in a much better position now than what it was when it released. But yeah, Big Ant Studios, man. If you know they're making your favorite sport game, I mean, fucking don't pre-order that shit. Far out. Do not pre-order it. Because it's probably going to be complete dog shit for the first month of release.